Hey guys, it's Johnny. Just a quick couple disclaimers before this high school basketball playoff prediction video. In fact, I'm on my way to a high school basketball game as we speak. So, just straight up, this bracket prediction video isn't going to be very accurate, at least not as accurate as last year's, just simply due to the fact that full-time construction is very hard on my body and my free time. So last year I was able to see over half the bracket, over half the teams in person, which was really nice. And the rest of the teams that I wasn't able to see in person, I had already spent the majority of the season keeping track of their stats and their play via either their YouTube channels or Huddle via film. This year I did not have that luxury due to, again, just time restrictions. I've, best case scenario, seen 25% of the bracket in person and maybe tops 12 to 15 minutes of film per team on every other team in the bracket. And there's some teams I watched zero film of because I don't predict them or think they can even make it out of the first round, just strictly to save time. So if you didn't like last year's playoff prediction video, you're probably not gonna like this one. Catch me being like SpongeBob going 6 for 600. This video isn't necessarily meant to hate on any team. This is, again, just another fun prediction. But fair warning, last year, if you think it was inaccurate, this year's is going to be even worse, even though I did correctly predict St. Thomas More going to the state championship. With that out of the way, let's get this video started. Starting in the northwest part of the bracket, I prefer the offense and defense of Evansville, so they'll knock out Richland Center. Then, a far superior River Valley takes out Parade Sheen. Then Dodgeville will knock out Mouston, and Broadhead will conquer the 10th seed. Moving up around, I have Platteville moving over Evansville. They're the 1 seed. They have a lot of good, dominant wins this season. It is what it is. Then River Valley will advance over New Glarus in the first upset of the bracket. Then Lodi will conquer Dodgeville, and Broadhead falls to Wisconsin Dells. Up around again, Platteville will conquer River Valley. Lodi falls to Wisconsin Dells, and then Platteville, they have dominant wins, but noticing in some of their film, they have a lot of bad sloppy turnovers, which is very important come playoff time. So I have the 2 seed upsetting the 1 seed. Wisconsin Dells advances over Platteville to make the sectional championship. Next, going diagonally across the bracket to the southeast, I have Shoalen Lutheran losing to St. Francis. Kenosha St. Joseph Catholic advances over the 12th seed, St. Anthony. Then Milwaukee North advances over A-Tech. And then Mesmer dispatches the 10th seed. Going up around, Milwaukee Academy of Science dispatches St. Francis easily. Then Kenosha St. Joseph Catholic will lose to Milwaukee Washington. Then Milwaukee North will lose to Racine Lutheran, and Mesmer falls to Racine St. Catherine, setting up a battle of the Racines, where I have St. Cat going over Lutheran. Then Milwaukee Academy of Science matches up with Milwaukee Washington. Milwaukee Academy of Science is getting that win too, and Milwaukee Academy of Science wins over Racine St. Catherine to advance to the sectional championship. The thing with Milwaukee Academy of Science, they have not lost a game at full strength. They have 1 loss as of recording this, and it's the only game where their typical starting 5 did not start. So Milwaukee Academy of Science is going to be very dominant throughout this sectional. Moving up to the third part of the bracket, the northeast, I have Brown Deer losing the Catholic Memorial, which is to be expected. Brown Deer is at about 30% winning percentage in a easy-ish conference, in my opinion. Then Carmen Northwest takes on Dr. Howard Fuller, where Carmen Northwest will win, in my opinion. Then American Peace is going to get blown out by University School of Milwaukee, followed by Kingdom Prep Lutheran losing to Kettle Moraine. Kettle Moraine Lutheran, I really like what little bit of film I did watch of them. I think they're a gritty team that has the potential to make a deep run. Brookfield Academy is then going to defeat the 10th seed. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. Going up around, Brookfield Academy is going to lose to Oostburg. Moraine Lutheran, I think, has the potential to upset Milwaukee School of Languages. Common Northwest is going to lose to University School of Milwaukee. And Dominican, they took a huge step back from last year. They're not quite the offensive juggernaut they were, but they're still a force to be reckoned with. I got Dominican going over Common Northwest. Then I got Dominican then defeating University School of Milwaukee. Moraine Lutheran, I think, is going to defeat Oostburg and then advance where they will lose to Dominican. And then Dominican will advance to the sectional championship. And finally, we come to the southwest portion of the bracket, where I have East Troy defeating Watertown Luther Prep on their home floor in what will most likely be a very close game, all things considered. Then, I have Lakeside Lutheran blowing out Whitewater in, I'm calling it right now, the biggest margin of victory within the 2025 playoffs. I'm talking Oklahoma City Grizzly numbers. Then, Turner will take on the Philadelphia 76ers. Turner will take on the Bigfoot Chiefs and win by 20. Hey guys, Johnny is back with a quick interruption on my way home from work. This video's been in the making now for close to, if not a week, and everything else was recorded a few days ago, well in advance, before the regular season even ended. But I did just get news and word of the last Turner Chief game that went down last night. Turner won by 30. You know, Turner is a really good 6-letter team ending in ER. You know what else is? Denver. This is going to be a really fun game to watch. But enough of my regularly scheduled smack talk. Let's get back to the video. Then Columbus will knock out Mayville. Going up around, I have Lake Mills knocking out East Troy in what's going to be a very little fight to put up. Lake Mills has a very deep, very experienced roster. They've been here before. They know how to get done. I don't see more than 2 teams being able to compete with Lake Mills. Next, Lakeside Lutheran is going to come down to earth and lose to Upon. Then, you have got to be kidding me. This is just straight LeBronto at this point. What is this? This has got to be like the 6th or 7th year in a row, right? Am I looking at this right? Give me a second. Alright, I'm back. I think Edgerton's going to get done this year. They've performed really great this year. Turner's having an off season. Not an actual off season, they've just been having a down year for their standards. I think Edgerton gets it done. Edgerton advances over Turner. Roll Tide. Then Columbus falls to Lake Country Lutheran. Going up yet another round. Lake Mills, their deep roster is going to overpower Rupon. They advance. Then, the Edgerton Crimson Tide will upset the 2 seed and advance over Lake Country Lutheran, where I have Edgerton beating the 1 seed, Lake Mills, just like they did in the regular season, 60-61. Edgerton advances to the sectional championship. Now we come to the sectional championships, where I have Edgerton beating Wisconsin Dells to become Sectional 3 champion, and Milwaukee Academy of Science defeating Dominican to become Sectional 4 champion. And between those 2 matchups,
I have Milwaukee Academy of Science unfortunately beating the Crimson Tide. Milwaukee Academy of Science has the best starting unit by far in all of D3. I expect Milwaukee Academy of Science to prevail over the Tide. Then, I know I said this would be Sectional 3 and 4 only, but for Sectional 1 and 2, I have Elk Mound and Freedom coming out smelling like a rose, where in that round I have Elk Mound coming out to face Milwaukee Academy of Science, where Milwaukee Academy of Science will be your Wisconsin D3 boys basketball state champion. Thanks for watching.